Oh my fucking god.
This arc has been phenomenal so
We're
far.
only 3 episodes in or something, aren't we? 4 maybe?
I think 4. I think 4.
Yeah, I want to say it might be 4 because there was like...
There was the opening where like Goku goes to see the Omni King. There was the second episode where Goku has to get a team for the exhibition match.
Right.
Then there was the episode with Majin Buu's fight, and then there was this episode just this past day or just this past weekend with Gohan.
Right. So I want to start off this whole section. This is probably going to be a larger section than it is normally for Dragon Ball Super, obviously, but I want to start off with an interesting discussion that I've seen kind of crop up every now and then, and I was going to do an individual video on it, but decided to wait and kind of do it on the podcast because I feel like it's one of the easier ways to kind of go about discussing this because you have someone else to talk about it with.
This is true.
This arc has really brought to light an aspect of Goku's character that, while has been present in the past, we've seen it before, but it's really made it like it's put the spotlight on it. And that is that Goku's selfishness and desire to fight the strong guy puts the world, and in this case, normally it's just the world, at risk. But now he's put the entire multiverse at risk.
You know what's funny about this, actually, is in Z, this was a Vegeta problem.
No, I would say it was also a Goku problem.
It was never this bad, though. Like, Goku had this trait, but Goku never really threw everyone away to the level that he has now. Usually it was Vegeta that did that shit. But,
Well,
now they're really showing this huge character flaw of Goku.
well, the thing is,
You know,
when you think about it, this is going back to the original Dragon Ball, because at the end of the original Dragon Ball, Goku spared Piccolo. Why did he spare Piccolo? Not because he thought Piccolo could be a good guy. Goku didn't believe that. He spared Piccolo because he wanted to fight him again.
that's true. That is actually very
Go to
true.
Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga. They have Krillin is about to stab and kill Vegeta. Like, Vegeta's crawling on the ground. Krillin has a chance to finish off the biggest threat to the entire series to date. And Goku says, no, let him go because I want to fight him again. Frieza Saga.
That's true. Same thing.
He gives Frieza energy because he wants to fight him again. Cell. He literally says, I'm tired of fighting you. I'm going to die and let my son take over.
And he gives Cell a senzu bean.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't think
true.
it was as bad with Boo. No, Goku did say he was looking forward to seeing Boo reincarnated so he could fight him again. But Goku never hesitated in trying to kill Boo.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing about Boo is that he did say, I can't fight you anymore because, Gotenks is going to fight you. But at the same time, that was because of a restriction. That wasn't because of, his own doing. So,
Yeah.
I don't think that really counts.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that one only because, it was this weird bullshit where Goku was using so much energy that his day on Earth's time got used up.
Which that's plot convenience.
Yeah, because Super Saiyan 3 Goku probably could have beaten Fat Boo.
He could have easily beaten Fat Boo.
Yeah.
He was using him like a goddamn punching bag.
Yeah. Of course, he's struggling against Kid Buu, even though the weird thing is that Kid Buu is actually considered the weakest form. It's just the most...
I thought Fat Boo was the weakest.
No, Fat Buu with the evil split out is the weakest.
Oh.
But Kid Buu is the weakest, and then Buhan's the strongest.
Okay, that makes sense. It's weird because the whole reason for the confusion is Funimation's fault. It's entirely Funimation's fault because in the Blu-ray, in the original dub of that saga, they explicitly state that Kid Buu was the strongest one.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like he's the most evil. He's the most chaotic and unpredictable, which made him the hardest to fight.
Yeah, well, like, there's even a thing, like, because I just rewatched these clips the other day, and Goku even says, like, he got stronger. He didn't get weaker. He got stronger. So, that was a complete flub on the dub. And
when you think about it, it makes sense that he's not as strong as Wuhan because they beat him without having to fuse.
yeah, it makes sense. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's wrong.
No, I'm just bringing up the
saying,
discussion topic, like adding to the point.
Yeah. But the people who made when they originally did the dub, they got a lot of things really fucking wrong. Like, I would even say to the point that it takes away from the original meaning of what was supposed to happen. Like, for example, the obvious one is Goku's character.
Yeah, they made
Goku's
him
character.
He's not.
They made him Japanese Superman.
He's not even close to that. Watch Super, because there's so much of it not dubbed. Watch the subbed version of Super. You see who Goku really is.
Yeah, they kind of started fixing that when they started doing Kai and even Super, from what I've seen, is not as bad about it as the original dub of Dragon Ball Z, but it was pretty bad how they did it back then. And honestly, I understand why they did it. They did it in order to make it more popular in the West, which worked.
Oh, it worked phenomenally well.
It worked phenomenally well, but unfortunately you have this distinct difference in characters between the original dub and the English dub that it's almost kind of like you can't really fix it at this point. Like, even now, he's not as bad as he was in the original English dub of Z, but he's still way more goody-goody than he's supposed to be.
Yeah. But, going back to the original, the topic at hand is that I believe that when you look at how selfish Goku has been throughout the history of the franchise, it makes you wonder, and it puts into, to question, is Goku a good guy? Like, is he he's not your regular hero. Obviously he's a good guy in the sense that he always beats the villain. Oh, not always, but Cell. But he usually beats the villain, right?
Yeah, I would say, given the circumstances, I wouldn't say Goku is a true blue 100% good guy. Absolutely not. He's willing to put others' lives on the line just for that fight. So if you're going with the whole D&D moral alignment thing, I would definitely say at best he's chaotic good.
Yeah.
And I would even say potentially chaotic neutral.
Yeah. I kind of lean more towards chaotic neutral myself. Mostly the Cell Saga has to do with that.
Yeah, I would say it's like on the line between chaotic good and chaotic neutral, only because Goku has a basic understanding of morals. Like, even the Japanese Goku has a basic moral understanding, like, that's a bad guy, that's a good guy. He at least has that. It's just he puts his selfishness clouds his judgment. So that's where I say he's on the line. Like, if he had no sense of morality, then maybe chaotic neutral, like, he would be a definite smack dab chaotic neutral. But having that basic sense, I would say creeps him just on the line.
Yeah. It was interesting. The part that really kind of brought up this discussion for me was when Goku is on Beerus's planet, and he's there with Beerus and Whis, and he's just like, I'm going to go talk to Omni King. And Beerus is like, you know what? I'm stepping in. You need to stop getting yourself involved with him. The Omni King is just seriously way too dangerous because he's so naive, because he has that attitude of a child. And he got into position to where he was going to destroy Goku if he went. And Goku went nearly Goku Black in terms of sinister.
Yeah, it was actually really fucking cool. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in all of Super.
Yeah, it turned into kind of a comic relief scene because Goku tricked them.
Yeah,
But at the same time, now you look at the fact this tournament is happening. Even Gohan was like, "Dad, what have you done?"
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to see Goku have to, for the first real time, I think, in the franchise, deal with the consequences of his selfishness.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to have to. Obviously, it's not going to be as bad as it was originally planned, which we'll have to talk about that when we actually catch up to the episode. But he definitely is going to have to live with the consequences. I know the Super Dragon Balls are going to be involved, but I don't think this is something that they can just say, "Oh, there you go, it's fixed."
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, okay, let's say if the Omni King wipes out all these universes, and then Goku wins and goes, "All right, let's bring back all of them with the Super Dragon Balls." Can the God Shenron overrule the King of Everything? I would like to lean towards no.
Well, I think even if the dragon could bring them back, what's stopping the Omni King from just getting rid of them again?
Yeah, and then Goku puts himself at even more risk because then you're like telling the Omni King kind of like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, so.
In which case,
and there's two of them now.
Two of them, and only one of them likes Goku.
Yeah.
That we know of so far.
Well, I think the other one doesn't hate him.
No, it's just indifferent. But we know the actual main timeline, Omni King likes Goku.
Yeah, views him as a friend.
Yeah. So I guess now we'll kind of go into the exhibition match itself. So you've got the Trio de Dangers.
Yeah, the Trio de Danger. French.
Yeah, which is three furries.
Yeah. It's like, it would have been funny if, the God of Destruction was a pig. And it was like the reverse. You got the pig and the three wolves.
That would have been... I'm surprised that's not a thing. Well, how did Toriyama
actually
miss on that?
Yeah, that's true.
Like
how did he miss on
all
that?
These guys.
Yeah, and instead he kind of went for this green dwarf kind of guy.
Yeah.
Who is kind of a bitch.
Has he had a line?
Like, he's had like one line where we got to talk about this now, I guess. There's a fight between Basil and Boo.
Basil being the guy who kicks. He's basically furry Sanji.
Yeah, and he is, he's kicking the shit out of Boo, and Boo is not phased, and Boo manages to beat the shit out of him a little bit because he hurt Mr. Satan. And so the Supreme Kai of Universe 9, who is a dick, and he basically gives Basil this drug that boosts him up. And the God of Destruction of Universe 9 is like, yeah, that might have been a little much.
Yeah.
So he's not... I feel like the roles are reversed. Like, he's the more calm-minded one, and
he's the passive one. Yeah.
He's
Supreme Kai's the aggressive, like, asshole-ish one.
Yeah. Which, did you notice the animation on the Supreme Kai's eyes?
Yeah, that's a new thing.
It's automatic now.
It's automatic, yeah.
Which is
I noticed
weird.
it in the newest episode as well.
But
it's one of those things I wouldn't have noticed unless it was pointed out. So thanks, Masako X.
Yeah, for real. Dick.
We hang out too much.
Bro moment. But that was nice.
But yeah, the fights so far have been fucking stellar. I was not like, we saw all the fights in the Boo saga with Boo. Yeah, I feel his most hype fight was his fight against Basil.
Definitely. That was a fun fight. I love that they actually gave Boo some legit fight time and not like, because outside of the beginning of the Boo arc, every time he got into a fight, he got his ass kicked, and then when they brought him back in Super, he never fought at all except for getting his ass kicked by Beerus. Like which everyone did.
It's hard to mark him for that.
No, but I'm saying like they intentionally left him out of the Frieza fight because he would have been too powerful.
The whole thing is that Yeah, he would have made that too easy.
He would have made that way too... Like, he would have destroyed all of Frieza's goons. He probably wouldn't have beaten Frieza. He probably wouldn't have...
He would have made it to where, like, they all could have ganged up on Frieza.
Yeah. He definitely...
Before Goku and Vegeta got there.
He would have been able to hold him off.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Could you imagine... Imagine, if you will. This is good Boo. But he still has the ability to absorb people.
Yo. No, that'd be dangerous. Because
if he absorbed Frieza... Yeah. And then it would have been like a fucking super pink Boo gold monster.
Gold...
It would have been like...
Gold Boo monster thing.
No, like, it would have been like, in Mario Kart 8, you know, they have pink, gold, peach?
Oh my god. It'd be that.
It'd be that. Cat suit and all.
But, yeah, he would have made that fight too easy. They had to do the same thing, really, in the Universe 6 tournament, because the only person in that tournament who was a threat was Hit.
Yeah, definitely. Boo definitely would have jobbed out everybody in that fucking tournament.
Because Frost Poison would have been no-sold.
It would have been no-sold. Fluffy would have been taken down.
Kaba wouldn't have become Super Saiyan. So
he wouldn't have, and he also would have been too naive.
Yeah.
How to handle him.
And then the robot thing would have just, I think, been out-gimmicked.
Yeah, he would have been out-gimmicked.
Because, like, Boo's a gimmick fighter.
Boo is the king of gimmicks.
Literally. And then he would have lost a Hit.
He would have lost a Hit for sure.
Well, then again, how do you kill Boo?
Well, he wouldn't have killed Boo. He wouldn't have killed Boo.
He would have knocked him out of the ring.
He would have probably just knocked him out of the ring, or it would have been to a point where, like, it even could have ultimately been a stalemate. Because Hit can't kill Boo, because Boo isn't like a normal... He doesn't have, like, a normal beating heart like everybody does. He can turn into goop, you know? Yeah. So he can't really assassinate Boo.
Unless he has a technique that can wipe out
matter
people on on a matter / cell level, which from what we've seen he can't.
Yeah, at least not yet.
Yeah, of course he probably has a lot of abilities we haven't seen, and I'm sure we're gonna see Hit during this.
If we don't see Hit during this arc, I'm gonna be disappointed.
It'd be a travesty.
It would be a huge.
I know this is awful to say because he's not even in the opening, but I want the finals to be Goku and Hit again.
I want Hit to face somebody from the other universes.
Yeah.
I think... I have a feeling that if Hit shows up, he's going to lose to the guy that Goku fights in the opening.
That would make sense.
Because
like, that guy's got so much focus.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that opening is amazing.
That opening is fantastic.
I was listening to it right before we started the show. Like, I just don't stop listening to it.
I think it's a better total package than the other one was. Although I still think the other song is really catchy.
I mean, it's catchy, but I think that by the time you finish, by the time you got to Universe 6, it should have changed. That opening was good for the movie recap arcs, but that was about it. I think it clashed the most with the Goku Black arc.
Yeah, the Goku Black arc should have definitely got its own opening, and it should have been a much more sinister song.
Yeah, because that arc, going back to Goku for a minute, is probably the only arc where Goku knows he can't put people in jeopardy.
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny is what would have been really cool for them to do for the Goku Black arc, since it's like an evil Goku, if they did like a darker Chala head Chala. Like
that would be, yeah.
It's the iconic Dragon Ball Z theme. It's the song that's most iconic in the franchise, and you have this evil character who is basically Goku. So it would have just been pretty awesome. They weren't going to do it. It's never going to be. It would never have been a possibility, but it would have been cool.
Yeah. So I guess the last thing to talk about in terms of Super is Gohan's fight, which was the most recent episode. And there's a couple things that also happened in that in regards to how the Tournament of Power is going to work, but that was also Gohan's best fight since the fucking Buu saga. Like, they're finally giving us good fights with people not named Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks.
Yeah, for real. I wish Piccolo would get this treatment.
I think he will.
He probably will. He'll probably get somebody. I think everybody's going to. Like, Krillin's going to get a good fight. The androids are going to get a good fight.
Roshi will get his he'll get his badass old man Shinnok moment where he'll probably have to retire from fighting.
He actually had a really awesome moment too in the opening where he just takes his sunglasses off, like, he's gonna fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
You know what would be awesome is if, like, they all trained in the hyperbolic time chamber and they all got, like, ridiculously powerful.
I think they should. Like, the normal humans, Krillin, Tien, Roshi, and even to a lesser extent Piccolo, and maybe 17, because I assume 17 and 18, they've not been fighting since the Cell Saga.
Yeah, the only thing they have going for them is their infinite energy supply. Outside of that, what the hell else do they got?
I'm actually looking forward to the episode where they reintroduce 17, because I feel like that's just something that's going to be a big event, I feel. And it's going to be a Krillin and 18 episode. I'm calling it.
It's
Goku
definitely going to be.
will not go hunting for 17. Krillin and 18 will go get him. And if that doesn't happen, I will be disappointed.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's going to be something strange like, oh, Vegeta finds 17. No, that's not going to happen. It's going to be 18 and Krillin. She's either going to know where he is right away, or she's going to, like, be able to find a way to contact him based on, like, some fluke. Like, oh, 17 said to me one time he wanted to be a park ranger. So,
well, we know from the data book, or either data book or an interview with Toyama, one of the two. I read it recently. They're like 17 visited Krillin and 18 recently, but didn't mention his own personal life.
Oh.
Now, aside from the park ranger thing, like, he doesn't mention. According to Toyama, he has a family and kids. Like, he's got a wife and kids.
Oh, Jesus. And
they live in the park.
That's fucking weird. I guess we're going to be introduced to his family.
Probably not.
Oh, well.
They'll probably be 17. They'll find him, like, on the job.
Oh. Well, I look forward to it because
yeah.
I always like when they reintroduce characters, and characters that normally don't get time getting time.
Which is what this arc seems to be about. New characters and old favorites getting another chance in the spotlight. Because, again, look at Tien. Done nothing since Cell. He was present for part of the Super Buu fight, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah, and also I like Tien's current outfit with, like, the martial arts robe and shit. That's my favorite outfit that Tien has.
Definitely.
He looks like a badass, like, martial arts master. Yeah. And I think I'm one of those people that believes that Tien got the fucking screw job from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. Like, hardcore. He was
got hit with the power creep.
Yeah, he did. And it happened at the very end of Dragon Ball. Like, Piccolo came in, outmatched Tien, no problem, and just completely made him irrelevant. Then Piccolo was made irrelevant by Vegeta, and so on and so forth. And it's just really sad that this happens to all these characters, but this is the chance for them to finally redeem that. I mean, I'm not saying that Tien and Piccolo have to be like Goku Vegeta level. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But I wanted them to be more than just incompetent guys that either get their ass kicked by the big bad or, bystanders who have to watch everything.
Yeah. And that looks to be changing in this arc, so I'm excited for that. But the next fight looks to be, from what I read in the description, like, Bergamo's ability is that, like, he can power up to match his opponent the more energy that they show off.
That's scary.
Yeah, so I assume that the only way Goku can beat him is by entering a form where he can't sense his energy, Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah, or unless he, like, powers down or some shit.
Yeah, it should be, and then, like, suddenly gives a burst of power and knocks him out.
Yeah, well, it kind of, like, when you put something like that into perspective, it almost reminds me of the Rao and Kenshiro fight in Fist of the North Star. If you remember, they were so powerful to the point that their abilities were nullified, so they had to resort to basic hand-to-hand combat. Just each other.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool because you never really see Goku in that kind of situation.
No, not since the original Dragon Ball.
It would be really awesome to see, like, Goku can't just outpower him. He has to beat him in a way that, like, he has to go back to basics.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
So I think that's enough Dragon Ball for now. We talked for about 25 minutes at least on Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm looking forward to the rest of this arc.
I could keep talking about it, too. That's the thing.
My hope, I guess this is the last thing we'll talk about. My hope going into this arc is that we don't just see, Universe 7 take on everybody. I want to see all the other universes go at it, and I want them all to get fully fleshed time. I want episodes dedicated to the Universe 6 fighters. I want to see them take on the other universes. I want to see more into the... This is really, like, the ultimate chance to really build the multiverse of Dragon Ball. And
Wrap it out.
Well, yeah. And I really want to see them take advantage of that.
Except, actually, for 4 universes that aren't entering the Tournament of Power.
Well, they're...
Universes 1 and 12 and 5 and 8.
They are completely exempt. They don't have to enter. So...
Because their average power... I don't know if they said power level.
Mortal power level. Mortal power level.
Is apparently over 7.
Yeah, and Universe 7's was at 3.
And Universe 9 was like 1.8 or something.
Yeah, so like...
I was like, ouch, Universe 9. Get fucked.
Yeah, so Universe 9 is basically like... The end is like maybe Buu Saga tops.
Yeah. Though, like, I'm sure it's really like Goku and Vegeta who bring Universe 7 up so high.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
But I don't know how to feel about that because I wanted to see all the universes go at it.
Yeah.
Maybe that means that's opening up the realms of going to universes 1, 12, 5, and 8.
They're definitely going to. If they don't show up in this tournament, they are definitely going to. Goku is going to end up conquering all of the universes.
Yeah. And then he'll get to go all the way back to Earth and get content with fighting and training Oob for some reason.
Yeah, they're going to have a hard time.
One last subject. Do you think that they are going to retcon the end of Z, or at least go past the end of Z in Super?
I think they're not going to completely retcon it, but they're definitely going to change it. Because there's too much stuff that happened in Super that you can't just say, oh, well, didn't happen in Z. So
yeah, it makes no sense.
And honestly, even though they try to say that GT's not completely nullified at this point, yes, it is.
It is. Oh my god, it is.
Like, even Masako was trying to say, like, you could still technically have GT happen. No, you can't. No, you can't. No. Super Saiyan, like, if let's just put this in perspective real quick. If Goku had this God form, and chances are he's going to get an even more powerful God form after that, you know it's coming.
Well, from the opening seems to hint at a perfected Blue Kaioken.
For now. And we don't even know what's going to happen once Goku gets to fight the other universes that were too powerful for this tournament. You know? Yeah. We could very well see Super Saiyan Blue 2. And eventually Super Saiyan Blue 3. Who the fuck knows? I hope it doesn't get to that point, because that's kind of overkill. But
at the same time, you have to feel like they've used Super Saiyan Blue so much that like a new transformation is inevitable.
I hope that they don't just go like Blue 2, Blue 3, and instead like become different colors.
Imagine if like Goku went Super Saiyan Rose.
I think that's a possibility. Although Rose could just be like a mixture of the Saiyan God power with Kai power.
That's true.
But I feel like, you know what would be really cool is if they made it like based on like how a flame works. Like red flame, I think blue flame is hotter than like red flames.
Isn't green the hottest?
I think white is the hottest.
Oh.
So
Super Saiyan white.
So like after blue you get white.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Hottest color of fire.
I think there's like a chart. I think it's like Red, orange, yellow, maybe green, blue, white.
Blue is the hottest part of the flame.
It's the hottest part of a flame, but what about white? What about white fire?
Let me look. White fire is rather hot, but apparently blue is still the hottest somehow.
Oh, okay. So that
Well, they don't have to apply the exact logic.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be that analogy, but
out of normal fire, white is the hottest. Like, let's say, okay, here's the exact temperature. Red fire's lowest temperature at just visible is 980 degrees Fahrenheit. White's lowest possible temperature is 2400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Jesus. So yeah, they could definitely do like a Super Saiyan white. And even if they wanted to make even if they didn't want to call it Super Saiyan, 3-ish, you could even have the long hair and just make it white.
And then that becomes Super Saiyan 5 and AF fans go nuts.
Oh god. We've unleashed the fucking We've opened the gates.
Speculation's gone too far. It's gone too far. We need to move on.
We've opened the gates of hell.
We've opened the gates of AF.
Dragon Ball AF is coming soon. You are not going to be saved.
Even though it's really, 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 really bad.
It's horrible. It is horrible and you will all